Last week, we celebrated the successful launch of a commercial mission bound for the moon, carrying scientific instruments for NASA. Later today, that cargo will land near the south pole of the moon, making this the first U.S. lunar landing in more than 50 years. Here to talk to us about this mission and what comes next is Vanessa, Wyche, the director of NASA's Johnson Space Center. Vanessa, thank you so much for taking some time to be with us this morning.
Awesome. Excited to be here.
Now, Vanessa, NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services Initiative, in collaboration with Houston-based Intuitive Machines, is set to land later today on the lunar surface. Talk to us about talk to us about this hopeful historic moon landing.
Absolutely. You know, this is so exciting. We began the Commercial Lunar Payload Services program, as you mentioned, in 2018. And so during that time period, we've had several companies that have been assigned service agreements with us to actually land on the surface of the moon. We've had two companies now to launch. We had one company, Astrobotic, that launched earlier, and they had a problem with their propulsion system, so they were not successful in making their landing. However, now we have Intuitive Machines, and they will be going forward. We already know that they're in lunar orbit. We have confirmation that the landing is going to happen this afternoon. And we believe right now that it's the timing has moved up a little earlier, if you haven't heard. So potentially as early as 4:30 Eastern time. But today, what that means for us is that this will be the first time that we've had a landing by the United States on the moon since 1972. So that's a big deal for us. And the fact that this is a commercial company. This is their mission, that they're providing NASA payloads that will be provided as a service to NASA. And so this is a way for NASA to have a lower cost approach to our exploration goals. So it's a higher risk because it's not our mission. This is a mission that is owned by a commercial company, but it will be having high rewards if successful.
And we are definitely hoping for success. No, I know a lot of people just can't get enough of the space exploration and the new layers we keep pulling back with all of the new opportunities and the technology. Can you talk to us more about some of the goals of the lunar deliveries?
Yeah, so we're going to be looking at learning more about what it's going to take for us to actually land. The South Pole region is where we're going. This is a region that we did not go to before. This is a region that is going to be a little more difficult because the fact that there are shadowed regions, and so actually having the capability to make sure that we can acquire and understand the landing surface, the dust. We'll have sensors that will be able to understand that when we actually touch down, what does that do to us in terms of our landing. And then we're going to be having scientific discoveries because, again, this is a place that we've never gone. And so we're learning more about the moon, which tells us more about our own planet itself. So it's going to have operational implications when we go forward again with our human missions landing, as well as scientific benefits.
And all of this is just so fascinating. Things that years ago, you know, we were dreaming of and thinking of as a what if, and now we're talking about this afternoon. So today's lunar delivery, it includes 6 science and technology instruments for NASA. How are these types of deliveries going to help pave the way for future exploration of the moon?
Yeah, so when we go to the moon with the Artemis program, our plan is that we will have both robotic and human landings on the surface of the moon. And we'll be going sustainably. And so with that, we need to be sure that we have a good understanding of whether or not there is water and if there's water there, we can use that to have sustainable presence on the moon. It gives us water for our astronauts. We can also use that for hydrogen and oxygen to make fuel for us to have for up and down ascent and descent from the surface of the moon. So all of this is so very important, what we're going to be learning just with this, the first mission. And we have several that are planned as a part of the CLIPS program.
And now hearing this, of course, we want to make sure that we give you the opportunity to tell our viewers where can they go to watch this landing this afternoon and to even learn more about future exploration.
Absolutely. So they can go to our NASA Plus channel, or they can go to nasa.gov/NASA TV or /CLIPS and learn more about this very exciting mission.
Awesome. Vanessa Wyche, the director of NASA's Johnson Space Center. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.